What is up, airsofters of the internet? Jake here with Airsoft Parts Bin, back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I feel like has been addressed before in the airsoft industry. And there's probably tons of videos on this as well, of other users or other creators giving their opinion on how they feel about this topic. But essentially what we're going to be talking about is how to sell your used airsoft gun. And this doesn't also pertain to airsoft guns in particular. This could also pertain to gear, accessories. Some people make their own homemade patches. Some people 3D print parts. And they just come to these type of events or post them online to, try to offload them. They're taking up too much space, or, you want to move yourself up to a different tier level of gun, or you want to buy a different system or something like that. So this is kind of like a guide on my opinion, where it kind of gives you a good understanding of, where to buy, where to sell, how to sell, what to look for, some of my tips and tricks on negotiating. A lot of this also pertains to how to reasonably price your gun, and how to tell that someone is also reasonably pricing their gun as well. So let's get right into the first thing. Now, the first thing is going to be, where can you buy and sell used airsoft guns? I kind of brainstormed, and I had put together three main platforms that I like to call them, where you could buy and sell used airsoft products. The first one, and my favorite, is going to be an in-person trading post. So a trading post is essentially going to be a field or retailer hosting some type of event that allows the community or local airsoft scene to come to their establishment and set up like a booth, essentially, where you could put your stuff that you're trying to sell on display, and in hopes that someone else that's also trying to sell stuff, or people that are just coming into the store or coming to play, seeing this and then being like, this seems like a good deal, I'm gonna buy it. So it's essentially open public swap meet, but just strictly for airsoft guns. And the reason I like this is because you get a in-person feel for someone wanting to sell or buy your stuff, and it makes it a little bit easier than having to deal with people online, or having to ship something, or having to do an online transaction. It makes it a lot more personable and safer as well, because you're going to be in these in the parking lot or in the area of this establishment, or whoever company is going to put on this event. Me personally, I like the evic.com trading posts. The reason I like the evic.com trading posts is because they host them about once every quarter of the year, so 4 times a year, and they also bring out a lot of their used products and their boneyard products, which opens up a lot of opportunities for people who might be looking for a really cheap starter gun, really cheap project gun, or let's say you have a gun that they don't make parts for anymore and they happen to have one in their boneyard pile. So my biggest pro from in-person selling is obviously going to be the face-to-face transactions. It's going to be top tier. Nothing beats having to do that. My biggest con is honestly the setup and tear down. It's a full event, essentially. So you have to, for me, when I go and try to sell stuff, I literally prep everything the night before. The morning of, I wake up real early, I load it all in my car, I go to the event, then you gotta pull it out of your car, then you gotta set it all up, then you gotta hope someone buys something, because I mean, not all transaction is guaranteed, but at these in-person events, you have a lot higher chance, because you could do in-person negotiations. And then at the end of the day, you got to tear it all down, you got to come back home, you got to unload it, essentially. So that's kind of the biggest con, is basically the setup, tear down. So I think the second place that I would give a lot of credit to selling a lot of airsoft guns, or at least the platforms, and I'm going to put two together into this one category, but essentially it's going to be Discord and Reddit. And the reason I give Discord and Reddit the same category of online platform is because I feel that the structure of these websites are the same when it comes to listing something for sale. You have to follow rules, and you have to follow server rules. So essentially in Discord, you have to follow the rules of a server. Reddit, you have to follow the rules of a subreddit, and they're pretty much the same in terms of posts. You have to be pretty thorough. You have to be very accurate with your price. You have to tell them if it's shipping included, no shipping included. a lot of images, and even then people might request more images or a shooting video, or depending on the gun you're selling, they might just request more information. Now, that being said, that could also be a little bit more strenuous on someone posting online, because you have to constantly be evaluating Discord and Reddit messages, which if you're always online, which you probably are because you're an airsofter of the internet, then, I mean, that wouldn't be a big deal. But then that goes into the category of my biggest con, which is having to package it all up and ship it out. That's probably my biggest con in this category, is having to pack it up and ship it. Now, you might be thinking, well, how about an online transaction? That could be a big con. Well, the thing is that online transactions, a lot of modern monetary transaction apps do have buyer protection. So PayPal has buyer protection. I think Venmo has buyer protection, and there might be other apps that do. I know some that don't, like Zelle, which is like bank-to-bank transfers, and Apple Pay. Like, those don't have buyer protection, but you shouldn't be using those for online transactions anyways. I would only use those for in-person transactions, because the person's going to be right there in front of you. So I would think that the biggest con is definitely packing up the stuff and shipping it out. The biggest pro is you get to reach a much larger audience. So you get to a lot of Discord servers, like a lot of retailers have Discord servers. Like, I know Airsoft GI has one, and evic.com has one. And there's probably a bunch of other, categories of communities that do have a lot of Discord servers. And same thing with Reddit, which that's r/airsoft market, I believe. Reddit has a lot of subreddits that, fall to a Milsim crowd, or a SpeedQB crowd, or a strictly buy, sell, and trade market only on Reddit. So, there's different servers you can join, different subreddits you can join to, reach a larger audience. Now, piggybacking off of the buyer protection, this goes into my third platform, and I'm not a big fan, but I'm going to mention it because it still exists, and it's still a decent place to sell, as long as you're willing to adhere to their policy. And that's going to be the app HopUp. Now, the reason I say I don't like HopUp is because in the more recent editions of HopUp, I don't like that they charge a very high transaction fee, and they charge a buyer protection fee. So what I mean by that is there's two options on HopUp when you go to sell. The first option is going to be a free post, so you get the post for free, but you have to agree that when the transaction is made, PayPal takes 10% of it. Now, when you go put the price into your listing, you can choose an option to have the buyer of your item compensate and cover that 10%, but that adds 10% onto the price that you're thinking of. So you have to keep that in mind. The second option is going to be paying a one-time fee to post the item. Now, I believe the one-time fee is a percentage of what the price of the item is going to be. So let's say it's $300, then they'll charge a percentage of that $300 for you to post it. I know that when I was using it, you had to pay, I believe it was $5 per post. So if you wanted to not use the HopUp buyer protection and the HopUp transaction fee, they still want to take a cut of the sale you're trying to make, essentially. I don't like that, because when I first started using HopUp, you can make as many posts as you want, no fees of any sort. If anything, you could pay premium. You could pay $5, I think, for a unlimited membership of posting, so you can post as much as you want. And that was essentially the only transaction that was required. What makes it even more weird is when you want to make a post, you have to add a form of payment, because there are cancellation fees, and they do charge a lot of fees when it comes to cancellation. Here's a breakdown of their own policy that shows what counts towards a cancellation fee. If anything on this policy basically takes place, then they can charge cancellation fee. So keep that in mind when using HopUp. I'm not saying that HopUp is a terrible app. I'm just saying that they take a lot of money. If you're trying to maximize your profits, then I would definitely not use Hop Up. But if you're trying to reach a good audience that's looking to buy sell because it's strictly buy sell, then I would definitely look into Hop Up. So with all that being said, that covers all the platforms that I feel are to sell your items. So let's get into the next topic, which is how to price your airsoft gun. So now let's get into the next topic, which is going to be how to price your airsoft gun or items, essentially. When it comes to pricing airsoft guns, I go by a percentage scale. So the way I like to do it is I'll do normally 60% off of MSRP or retail. The reason I do that is because when someone goes and buys something, they're not going to want to spend almost close to retail for a product. When I was at the most recent buy, sell, and trade or trading post at evic.com, there's a lot of people wanting to upcharge a lot of their items because it comes with accessories or something like that. That's fine, but in my opinion, a lot of times when I buy a gun, I would say take all the accessories off and tell me how much that's worth, because a lot of times the accessories that come on them might not be something they actually want to use or you feel comfortable using. I like using my own attachments and adding my own little flair to it. I don't want to buy a gun straight from someone and use it the exact way that they used it. Now, if you're doing some type of impression kit and they have all the attachments that you need for the kit, then that's a different story. Then I would definitely negotiate based on how much everything costs as a package. And if there's guns that come with extra mags and the mags might be hard to come across, like there was someone selling a KWA KMP9 and they had 8 magazines for it, the long extended mags, not the short 20 round mags. That would have been something I would have paid a little bit more of a premium for, because those mags are always out of stock and they're hard to get, essentially. So that package like that would be something I would negotiate, not too much with, but I would definitely want to knock the price down a little bit. Shoot them an offer that's lower than what they're looking for, and see if they bite. Now, there's been some guns that I've sold that do come with upgrades, and I normally compensate for the upgrades in the price. So, like for example, I had a GMP M249 that had a bunch of upgrades into it. That thing retails for like more than $600, and all the upgrades into it probably raised the price even more. I sold it for $450. So I kind of made money on the upgrades and all the work I put into it, but I basically gave them the gun for free, the body of the gun and the box mag. To me, that's not big of a deal. I'm trying to price things to move rather than trying to sit on top of a bunch of things and hope that someone's going to take my price that's a little bit below what they can buy for new. Another thing too that I see a lot of people do is they like to think that guns are impossible to get. You can only get those overseas, but at the same time, retailers are still going to carry it. So if you have some patience, you can still just wait a few weeks or a month or so, and it will hit the market in your local store. So I would say when it comes to pricing an airsoft gun, or when you're looking to, figure out, how much is my gun worth, and it has blah, 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 I would definitely look at the base price of the gun, retail, brand new, knock 60% off of that, and then you could essentially add minute differences in price if it comes to how many mags and how many accessories and how many upgrades come with it. A lot of times most people are willing to lose out on the upgrades they put into it and just get a price based on a bundle. But to me, I feel like the work I put into a gun to make it shoot good is what really drives the sale. So I care more about making money on the upgrades and the parts and the performance that comes into the gun. I can sell a gun for $0, but I want $200 for the upgrades. If they're willing to do that, then that's fine with me, rather than them wanting a lot of money for the gun and don't care about the upgrades. I mean, that's what I care about the most, is the labor essentially put into the gun. Make some money off the labor. So like when it comes to gear and stuff, gear's a little harder because it depends on who you're selling to. So a lot of times if people know what they're looking for, then you can definitely charge like an eBay pricing for a gear or for a pouch. I've seen some pouches sell for like $100 for a single M4 pouch. It's kind of like a brand, you know, you're paying for a top tier brand. But the reason I say that it depends on who you sell to is because you have to sell it to someone who knows what they're looking at and they know the value of your product. But yeah, I mean, this is just a short little video that I wanted to make on this type of stuff. I mean, it mostly stems from me going to an evic buy, sell, and trade and seeing a lot of the things I mentioned take place around me, and me being like, I wonder how these people really find out this information to tell, like, how can I sell it? Where can I sell it? How can I price it? I do see a lot of posts online that say, like, I have this, this, and this. How much would you pay for it? So, I mean, take this all with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion on how I feel the buy, sell, and trading takes place and how to help you, essentially. Just basically doing a knowledge dump on everybody who might have this sitting in the back of their head trying to find an answer. I hope this helped anybody, thinking about this question. And I'll probably make more videos like this in the future. I kind of like doing the knowledge dump style videos because, I could just talk, essentially. So if this helped you in any way, leave a like. If you like this type of content, go ahead and subscribe. This has been Jake with Airsoft Parts Bin. Catch you in the next one.